Hello, hello. We are back.
Take the picture.
Oh, click. There you go.
Thank you.
What was that for? Okay.
I thought you were taking a picture.
Oh, no.
No? Okay.
So confused. Welcome back, Stuart, to part 2 of the Picard celebration. What did we learn yesterday from our 2 hours looking at Picard characters?
The people focused on season 1 primarily. Which was odd. They wanted to revisit that, but that's okay. There's some good characters, and a lot of the main characters nobody even touched.
Yep. Yep. We were totally angling for some, some cheeky, Riker and Troy and you. So
that's also the thing. Yeah, a lot of the TNG cast from season 3 nobody mentioned. It was an odd live yesterday.
It's all good, of course, but yeah, it was interesting. What are we doing today, and how much more on our repertoire is it?
Well, this is right up our alley.
Yeah.
Right into our shuttle bay, if you will. Yeah, we're talking about ships. Picard ships. Any ships that were in Picard, any of the 3 seasons. There's lots of variety, some really cool ones, some STO ones. There's a good assortment that you guys can pick from. So, yeah, we're looking forward to ranking some of these. Just some cool designs and some really good ships. And we love ships.
Yeah, now as I said yesterday, this is very much as it appeared in the show Star Trek Picard. So there is a Galaxy class, although in fairness there's several. There's the Season 1 Chromium version, which has wrong details. There's the Season 3 annoying extruding window one, which makes no sense. I don't know how you could ever get that through, but whatever. And then there's the nice hero model at the end, which is much nicer. But it'll be how they're presented. I mean, that's me being finicky as I'm a Trekyards boy. But, we're here to look at them and as they are in the show. So if they're in one shot, if they're in whatever, school will be reflective of that. But there's a lot of ships and a lot of new ships out of season 1. A lot of not new ships out of season 3. Although, technically everything at the museum.
Yeah, well, absolutely, yeah.
There's a slight plethora of things. So, as always, it is up to you all. And how can people get said choices in?
Well, by super chatting, like Olivia just did with the $5 super chat. So, yeah, $5 super chat. Let us know the ship you want us to look at. We will talk about it, discuss it, rank it, tier list it, and then you guys can change it if you really want. It would require another $5 super chat per level, however much you want to put it up or down. So, there you go.
Yeah, strong opinions will equal prizes. I don't know. And like I said, there's actually a big variety. For better and for worse.
Yes.
Right, I'll get showing. See you in a second.
Okay. So, yes, Spiked Psycho throws in $2 with a hey you. Thank you so much, Spiked Psycho. It's quite the name you got there, I gotta say. Hold on 1 second here, guys. But yes, you can super chat in to get your favorite ships put in, and we will talk about them and rank them, because that's what we like to do. But hit the like button. Simple, easy. I was doing the picture for that. Hit the like button. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and that you click the notification bell icon to all, so you don't miss out on any content from us. And by all means, consider joining the channel. There's a join button down there on YouTube. Click that, see what the options are to join. Or you can head over to Patreon/Trekyards. It's another way to support us. Or just clicking the links down below. There's links to the Teespring and the TeePublic stores. Some cool Trekyards merch, as well as a lot of other stuff. So if you click the link and go through and buy something that's non-Trekyards related, that's cool too. But check the links out. TeePublic's a really great place. A lot of creative stuff on there, from sci-fi and all kind of genres and shows. So if you can, please do. We would appreciate that. Or if you do, yes. If you can, please do. Yes, that's exactly what I meant to say. All right, but yeah, hitting like, sharing the video around, just coming here and talking Trek with us when we do these kind of lives. We appreciate all of it, and we appreciate you guys. So we will get to the super chats as soon as Sam gets back, but hopefully there will be some good ones. Yes. Ah. A thing happened on my screen because Sam. But that's okay. Anyway, yeah. So just hit the like button. It's the easiest thing to do. There's 30 of you here, 26 likes. That's a fantastic way to start off within the first 5 minutes, which is great. So thank you so much. But if you haven't hit like yet, please hit that like button. Let's try to get this up to at least 30. I'm sure we can do that. No problem. No problem at all. Yeah, Spike Psycho, $2. Hey you, with a little hey you pair. Thank you.
Hey you, indeed. Indeed. Yes, lots of ships, and when that's why I like doing different slants on these, because it isn't as simple as design. Because in this specifically, we're going to look at, or at least in my head, it's about how are they in the show itself. So, a ship could be in one scene and be high because it thematically means something, or it could be low and be in every scene because it doesn't have enough, etc. So there's I'm not going to devote it actually on design necessarily, but how it is in the show.
Yes.
So there's some interesting nuance where certain things are going to be a lot higher than you would in other ranked, and that's exciting. So yeah, that's
always exciting.
Anything on screen, anything that appears. Yeah.
And there's a lot of ships in Picard, especially season 3. So lots of choice for you guys. You're just kind of spoiled for choice for this in this one a little bit. But yeah. So we can.
Dan a bit lower is fine, but this helps our month out, which would be useful. So anything is good. Anything helps.
Yeah.
All right, where are we going first then?
Well, Olivia throws in $5.
Thanks so much.
Oh, probably want to change to the tier list.
Was already doing it.
And she says the USS Zheng He ship season 1 episode 10, the copy and paste fleet. USS Zheng He ship season 1 episode 10, the copy and paste ship. USS Zheng He ships season 1 episode 10, the copy and paste ship.
Yep. Now, but it'd be funny, Olivia, if you had 10 super chats of the same thing. Then you'd be copy and pasting.
Oh.
Now, this is the pre-stow version, because technically, as you know, Olivia, there's the Zheng He Season 1, and there's the Season 3 through the pipeline of Tobias Richter, through Stowe, back to the operation team improvement. So there is the version in Season 3, which is much better, but this is this version. Zheng He, the first new post-Nemesis Federation Starship design since Nemesis. And we see a lot of them. Thoughts in the way it's featured?
Well, this is the first one you said?
I mean, we had Nemesis, and we had Discovery. Well, we had Nemesis, we had JJ, we had Discovery, we had Picard. So, yeah.
No, but like which version of the ship is this? I forget.
This is the one. This is Zheng He. This is the accurate one. This is the appropriately no detail one.
The most powerful ship in all of Starfleet. Yeah, I mean, it was great to see a new starship design, but to see 30 of them on screen with slight variations here and there in the cell configuration, or not configuration, but the cell details was a little bit jarring. This must be a real easy ship to assemble. Let's put it that way. Yeah, it's an interesting enough design. It looks a lot better from Eagle Moss when there's more details added. I don't mind.
Well, that's Eagle just version. The paint. I mean, it's the same model. It's just, I guess, it looks nicer than a CG version. Yeah. Although I'd love them to do the Stowe version because that is properly up detailed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someday.
So it was all right. It was good seeing it. I definitely love new ship designs. This is kind of like, you can tell it's after the Sovereign class somewhat, but there's some Sovereign type details in the nacelles. It was nice to see. Just didn't need to see that ship only. Add some other ships in that fleet because there's other ships in Starfleet. That's what we're saying. So anyway, yeah, it's all right. How about you?
Yeah, this is a tricky one because it's got a zeitgeist of being the copy and paste fleet, so it's going to always be remembered for sort of the embarrassment that it is, and also when the behind the scenes of it being achieved in days,
Yeah.
But you would common sense to not do what they did, but it's one of those things where they're clearly too in the moment to think, is this a good plan? And they just didn't, where, even 5 of them would have been enough to feel, oh, there's 5 starships. 5 each would be more than enough to feel impressive. Actually, more of them feels less impressive and to more rendering, right? I guess you instance them, but whatever. Yeah, they're impressive, but they don't say warship to me. They don't say, irrespective of their lack of any armaments, but it doesn't say warship. Now, if they're Defiance, fine. If they're Prometheus, fine. But it feels like a bog standard, slightly blocky starship. Nothing special at all. So it's a very baseline ship, right? And as we've seen, the concept art is better, was nicer. I mean, cool, made it in a week, but still. So considering there are much better ships in the show, and the scene it's in, I mean, I'm pretty sure it just does warp in and then doesn't move. So there is really nothing it does. Warps in, stop, doesn't move, warps out. That's it. So it has no personal oomph to it.
Yeah.
So I would personally, I'd give this flat down the middle and say C, middle of the board, because I think it does.
C. Yeah.
Okay, well, cool. Fine design and improved thoroughly in Picard, but it doesn't do anything. And had it just been 5, I'd have been far more impressed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Sad reality there, but yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, C it is for that one. We should use the vertical board, considering how long some of these pictures are.
Yeah. I mean, we can swap if need be.
No, we'll leave it for now, but just saying.
All
right, next up we got Sussy Guru 2000 with 5 euros. The World Razer, the worst Galaxy class variant since the early STO Greeble variants.
Ouch.
It was designed by Sean Turns. Oh man, don't be mean.
Yeah, you got a second ship in canon. Yes, it's a mass murder kind of ship. That's okay.
Well, it is what it is.
Stuff happens, right?
Yes.
World Razer. I mean, I remember, talking to you about the ship and about what exciting it might do and how they might do flashbacks or have some sorts of prominence in the story. And it's like, nope, it's a painting. Which, in fact, a lot of work for a very unimportant moment. Like, relatively. Like, they could have just have, like, had a green and digitally inserted a painting rather than to paint a painting. Design it, painting it. Thoughts, Stuart?
Yeah, well, the painting was cool. I like seeing the painting, and I'm glad that's all we kind of saw. Seeing the changes made, I don't agree with half the changes. Anything from the neck up, I just not really super happy with. The secondary hull and nacelles, nice little changes made, and I think it's pretty interesting. And I'm baffled by the movement of moving the deflector. But anyway, it's fine. It feels very much like a Rush kind of chop up the ship kit bash.
So I don't think it was.
I don't think it was either.
I went through several people. It wasn't just Sean. It was also Dan Doctorman. I mean, it was actually pretty designed.
Yeah. I mean, looking at it, it just feels like somebody had a physical model builder just had like a Galaxy class kit and just chopped it up and didn't do a very good job kit bashing to make it feel cohesive. But it's fine. I'm glad we only saw the painting. I like the idea of it, Galaxy class kind of variant in another reality. I think that's kind of neat. So yeah,
I mean, I like the idea of the cut-in saucer weapons. I mean, it's one of those things where the universe of the Confederation doesn't need elegance; they need firepower, and that speaks volumes. It's definitely a bit disjointed, but I mean, you would assume this thing's been retrofitted at every possible point to improve its weapon, shields. Like, there's no semblance of, build it right the first time. It's like, no, we'll keep new nacelles. Great, put them on the flagship. So it will conflict with the art design. Pulls out a phaser, shoots him. Any other questions? And so it just keeps, it keeps being more and more tactical. So there's a story here that I mean, I would love to have seen it, right? They already have the Galaxy model, the shitty one. They could have would have been fun, right? Would have been fun. It's so minimally used, and if you're doing season 2, you could easily have done, as I said, flashbacks, but have the. I mean, God, there's so many things you could have in season 2 in general. But you can imagine if if you want to hit that TNG nostalgia, then doing the reverse of that, having the evil Galaxy class still in service as a flagship, and or a few years ago, and you see flashbacks to Picard on a green screen or LED wall background of the D mirror alternate whatever in uniform. So you get him in uniform because he was in uniform for that flashback, that hologram. I like it more than the Zheng He because it's got a lot more character. Might be weird character, but it's got character. But it was also underused as soon as it was used. So it's kind of the one and done versus the 5,000 and done. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Because I like it better as a ship design, but does that fit as a better ship in the show?
I like at least or less than as a ship design than the Zheng He. The Zheng He feels more designed and kind of thought out.
It's just missing every detail under the sun.
Yeah.
Shall we just equal out and say C then?
Yeah, well, I was kind of thinking C.
Yeah, I'm fine with C.
So
yeah, it's more the conversation of how do we vibe, right? And it had it been in one shot, I would like it more.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, it's weird what they put money into in season 2.
Yeah.
A weird season of sort of television.
And we get Ozzy with $5. Sir, it's another starship. It's the Titan A. No, it's the Enterprise G. We'll go with the Titan. So,
which you absolutely love was swapped over to the Enterprise G. You love it. You're a fan.
I don't. It's a stupid decision. But it is what it is.
It is what it is, and we're a bit past it now. Your thoughts on the Titan / Enterprise G, the Constitution 3 class, which is a totally logical name for a ship.
It's a great design. I mean, Bill Krause designed it to be a movie era ship, much smaller scale, and I'm glad they used his design, but they just upscaled everything, including airlocks, to not match. And that's even the windows, like an odd choice, but I've seen it done before. They swapped out the nacelles, obviously, and they've made some few changes here and there, but it's the overall shape that Terry liked. He liked the idea of going back to like a Constitution kind of movie era ship, and that design aesthetic, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense in the context of ship design.
We have to justify it, not it fits,
Well, they tried justifying by calling it Constitution 3 class, which I absolutely despise that decision. But anyway, I think it's a cop out, but it's a nice design. It really is. It's sleek. It's flowing. It looks good in motion. I like the nacelles. The nacelle design's nice. It's a scientific explorer, not a warship, as is pointed out a few times during the season. It's not built for what it's doing under the circumstances, and it should not have been the Enterprise G, but that's beside the point.
It's only the most underpowered G in any memory. I mean, you would not want this as a flagship to go around represent the Federation, because this thing will get beaten to shit. I mean, honestly, this thing could get destroyed within a year or two, unfortunately, because it's just not gonna. It's not of the caliber. I mean, unless the political statement is we are doing an underpowered ship on purpose because we want to show Starfleet is about positivity and exactly. Which I can buy, but it's like you're really having to explain yourself around, you're having to explain yourself out of a corner. But, of course, I think it's fair to say this thing is the true hero of Season 3. No ifs or buts. It has lots of great shots. It has lots of great beauties. You get to know her well. You get to celebrate her. You get some fun, unique art design with the nacelles. You get to see the bridge window door open. You get to see the impulse engines. You get to see the fire torpedoes. I mean, it is an actual hero ship, which the La Sirena certainly isn't.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to give this an S based on all those metrics, because I think, irrespective of its design fitting, it's treated like a hero. It feels like a hero. I think it deserves of all three Picards. This is one that obviously stands out. It's just, if they had not picked it over a weekend to swap from the Stargazer, then they could actually designed it more, and it could have done with just one pass of differences. Just one would have. 1 week, and that's something how insane production time is. They couldn't even give them 1 week of design time on it.
It's also odd because it is the Titan. It's not the Luna class. They went off the books with that and did something different, and then it becomes the Enterprise G. So it's kind of got this weird place in its legacies, and it's just.
Oh yeah, I guess if Stranger Worlds is a canon indication, they say every ship gets the plating of the previous ship, which means on the Enterprise G, there's the Lunar class Titan, because the Lunar class Titan was the air like it. There's no Enterprise plate because it was never an Enterprise.
Yeah.
Where. Always both, because always you're racing Titan.
And we can assume they went up and scooped up some pieces at the Enterprise F to like slap to the hull as well, because I think the Enterprise F probably got destroyed. But
we never see it. We don't know.
So yes, Excelsior 2000, €5. The repurposed Alacha Balash frigate that attaches to Dr. Crusher's ship.
And that's one of those great sort of reuses. Because I'm sure it's a star asset. Why wouldn't it be? Guess what? This video game has 570 ship models, and we can pick any of them, and you can convert them the same day. Yep. Oh shit. Let's pick something cool. So I'm not even bothering to pick a shot from the show because you can't tell what they are. And that's the ship from, that's the ship. Which I guess in this context is also their Shrike strike craft, because they were...
Yeah.
So it's not an Alachi, of course. It is a Vadic's shuttles, I guess. They have to be.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's an interesting design, very bug-like. It doesn't feel like it could be Dominion. It feels like it could be Cardassian. Definitely fits with the Shrike aesthetic.
I'd say Breen or either of those.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's all right. I don't remember it in the show specifically, so what's that tell you?
Like I said, they just attach to it and leave. So it's. I mean, I think F in lack of memorableness. I think unfortunately, no disrespect to it, just it be barely a ship.
Yeah,
and that's okay.
I think that's probably.
But it didn't need to be,
fair.
and it's alien and it's interesting. It leaves you guessing. If it had been a, it's fine. And it's sort of, they made it red. It's Shrike-esque. Yeah, sure.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah.
All right. Spiked Psycho throws in $10.
Thank you.
Truly my two faves. Excelsior II, its sleek side profile though I'd like its saucer nacelles wider. And the Inquiry with its forward swept profile, but change its deflector to look less like a Zamboni. Yeah, this was great to see, and I like the idea of it being called the Excelsior II class, because that's kind of the new naming aesthetic that they went with, which is fine, I guess. It works for this one, not for the Constitution, in my opinion. And it takes the Excelsior and makes it a little bit nicer in my eyes. Like, I was never really a fan of the Excelsior. I grew to like it, but this, I think, is a much sleeker next step in the evolution design, and I think it's great. It looks good. The nacelles are good. Looks, like I said, sleek and fast, standing still, and that's a good design for a starship. So, yeah,
it's a confusing one, because this thing that plays almost no part in the season is a fully designed starship with custom everything, and it works really well, and yet they gave Titan 1 week and nick a design from another guy. And this thing obviously got a huge design cycle.
People love the Excelsior.
Don't you love the Titan from the Enterprise? Knowing it's like, this would have been a better Titan if you're looking at like modernistic, right? I mean, it's obviously an Excelsior variant, but it fits better in every. Like, it feels like a modernized version of what it is versus what it was.
This would have been a good Enterprise G.
That's what I mean.
People wanted to see the Excelsior be the next, maybe the Enterprise A, so that would scratch that itch for them, and I would have been more than happy with that, as opposed to making the Titan the Enterprise.
Yes, I'm just real confused, because it's just so well designed, but it's in what, 2 shots?
Yeah.
It's It's crazy. So it's a tricky one there because it doesn't really factor into anything and anything, but it's awesome.
Great design, underused.
Was it even used? Where's that factor in our equation?
I mean, for design-wise, I'd put it on an S. If you want to take its use in the
I mean, it's
show,
got to be
though,
a C again, then, hasn't it? Because it's, again, I mean, C or D, because it's not used, but its design is so strong.
well, if that's the case, everything's going to be going in C for a lot of this background fleet, which we can't really do that.
Well, contrast, right? That's the thing. It's for people to submit and see what gets where, right? But this wasn't even. I can't think of a single. Well, there's one space I can think of where it warps in the Triader ships with the sense movie. That was it. That's the only shot I can think of. Everything else was mentioned on screen, and then like they shared it as art. Didn't even get a Star Trek 6 style beauty, you know. So by that logic, it's got to be a D then, because Zheng He at least is a very clear hero moment thing. So yeah, I mean there you go, D. Jesus.
That hurts me.
Which is annoying, because had we seen Elnor get blown up with this as a beauty shot, that would have been amazing. That one shot could have been like, oh, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
damn.
That's the reason behind it. If anybody wants to move it up, you can. But you know. And then the.
Indeed, Bradley. Indeed. Ryan.
The inquiry class.
I put another one in. And Ryan asks, am I the only one who likes USS Farragut from Stranger Worlds? No, it's pretty good. Yeah. Bit odd, but pretty good. So, Stuart, this, because we already looked at the inquiry class, the Zheng He, this is the second inquiry class of 3. This is the Star Trek Online up-detailed version. Because we already looked at the inquiry. Now we're looking at the inquiry better version.
It is a better version. It needs to be a little higher on the tiered list because it does have the details that we were complaining were missing. And people can fly this around and have fun with it. So technically, it's got more use than the ones we see in season 1. So yeah, I like the design. I think it's pretty cool. It's something about the top of the saucer I'm not a huge fan of, but overall I think it feels like a good Starfleet design. So
the only thing that's fundamentally broken is the saucer rim, not windows, because this ship is bigger than a Galaxy class, I believe. It's absurdly big, which means those windows are obviously not windows. They're like, who knows? They're silly. They should remove those instantly. But
I look at this and I think a ship's smaller than a Sovereign.
Yeah,
just from the design.
Scaling is dumb. One of the other YouTubers that we know did a chart, and it's like, oh. When you put into context, it's like, oh, because it's so bulky, boxy, that the scale kind of changes a bit of internal volume wise. Now, so obviously, this is in season 3. You'd have to look for it because it's not really in it, but it is there. It's actually in many shots. But I think we should give this a B under pure fact that it is also not really used, but it is better, and the fact that it's not played to be the best ship of the fleet actually works better because it blends in as a lovely side ship. And Tobias did a brilliant job repaneling it. It's not just generic plating; it's logically plated. I mean, that's one of the best things he ever did was to make that work.
Yeah. What is next? We got Susiguru 2000 again with €5. The Enterprise F with its wrong bridge. And an office chair from like business story, People have been looking forward to seeing the Enterprise F do anything for a long time now, and then we see it, and unfortunately, it doesn't last long. It is cool that Shelby's in command, though. I think that's kind of cool. But yeah, it's sadly misused and abused. But I gotta say, launching out of the starbase and to the fanfare with the fireworks and all that was really nice to see. Celebrate Federation Day in the best way you can with the flagship. And we've talked about this design a lot over the years. We interviewed the designer, and the whole story of how this came to be the Enterprise F is quite interesting. The whole contest thing. A lot of people aren't a fan of the double necks. Fleet Paw is one of them. He doesn't like the double necks on this thing. I think it's an interesting idea. I think it looks kind of cool. But it is giving up a lot of internal volume that you could just, make a neck and have more stuff in there. But no, I like the design. I think it's great.
Oh, it's like the Oberth. Why have two pylons? Just connect it with a neck.
Yeah.
But, sometimes there's a design, whatever. And obviously they sort of hide the double neck. They pick this is an angle that celebrates what the ship is doing, which is kind of lovely organic curves and layering. Like, this looks lovely. The other shot as it pans, it's got two necks, but it blends in. So they obviously played well. And this was also in the trailer, which was mind blowing. Sort of.
Red herring.
Yeah, expectations were then set
Yes.
and failed to meet. While beautiful, it was certainly underused. It just wasn't used. It was there, and then it was forgotten. I mean, it's cool to have two Enterprises in a TV show. That's a first. But it certainly would have been a more. Yes, the bridge is kind of embarrassing with a crappy chair. And just put it on green screen then, right? I know it's cheaper and easier, I suppose, but it just feels so lacking. Or even, well, then I guess any random set, it's the Enterprise. I guess it's better to be a shameless redress or shameless refilm than a poor not bridge. Because otherwise it'd be the Enterprise, but at least we know what it is. It's the Titan. There's nothing much interesting about it. I guess it's probably better. I'm
thinking at least an A.
Well, it's nowhere near Titan, of course, because how could it be?
Yeah.
But what is? Right? As you alluded to a minute ago, there's no other real heroes of all three seasons anyway.
With its legacy leading up to Picard, like, people wanted to see this for a long time on screen, and they finally did. That's pretty great.
Yeah, I think I'll go low A, but not hitting even near S. Because A, you're right, legacy, the fact that it was exciting, but mostly just because when it did come out of the space dock, it was the longest, slowest, nicest Trek shot. That was a Star Trek shot, right? It wasn't on the view screen, it wasn't whatever. They allowed it to have its moment, and then it was forgotten.
And destroyed.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, yeah. All we know is Shelby was shot in the body.
Yeah. All right. Dan Ben. There we go. Throws in 2 pounds. The Snakehead Romulan ship.
Do
we have that here? Oh, it's way over there. Yeah. Definitely looks Romulan. It looks like the top of the Deridex, kind of. So, I mean, it's got that look. And that's great. It's fine. The interior was pretty interesting. Small ship, obviously, like a one-man cockpit kind of deal. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I have nothing else to say about it, sadly.
But ironically, it has more in the show than a lot of other ships, because it has a full cockpit, which is not reused, full LCARs, not reused. It's a stealth fighter. It's a full design. It's not a kit bash. It's not a redesign. It's a proper original design, which is what Season 1 did do. Is clear Romulan because there's 2 green headlights.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if I recall, and I do recall, because it's so memorable, because I remember reviewing this with you, as I did them all, and saying, Narek, why are you 19 meters away from the back of the Sirena and thinking you're hidden? Like, no wonder they're seeing you. You're that small, so for us to see you in the same shot, you are literally up their tailpipe. That is not a smart plan for a stealth agent to be following. You do it far away or cloaked. What are you because then they weren't making good decisions as the season 1 team, right? So it's famous for me for that reason. It was a bad choice thing, but most memorable scene because it's dumb.
So is it a D for you?
Well, it's in more shots than World Razer.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So I'd say a C. Because it is a... Is it not our... Yeah, this is our first new design in the entire board. Because Inquiry was based on John Eve's concept from years ago. World Razer Enterprise D. This is our very first new design in Picard. That took a few to get to. Oh no, I guess Excelsior II. Excelsior II, that was the first one. Okay. It's our first season 1 design, but it's our first alien new design.
So where do you want to put it? Sorry.
A low C.
A low C. No D for you. You get a C.
Yeah, because I think it had a bit more character than the other Romulan ships, because it did something.
Yeah. And Shay Locomotive Productions, member for 11 months at the rank events, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Excelsior II, which is already on the board.
And it's a wonderful
Olivia,
ship.
$5. The McGee class from Children of Mars. That's technically
It is. Yep.
Let it slide. Let it slide. It's amazing to think it survived for 100 years plus. What a workhorse. Yep, there it is in dry dock. Yay. That was so upsetting to see.
Yep. Yep, and NX dry dock as well, as in the Discovery. It's sad because how do you justify using it as the VFX team? A ship isn't a ship. A shape isn't a shape. Doing it says too many things, and there's 3 Discovery ships if I recall that scene. It's just a we do not care. You want a spaceship? You've given us 3 days and 0 budget. Okay.
Here's one we have.
Here's what we have. And it's like, okay. Now, I like Thomas Maroney's Star Trek Online counter, which was they found a whole set of Discovery ships in like a rift, and then brought them home, and then to this one shipyard, and they're like doing the service work. It was a very specific day, but it's like, that doesn't fly. Not in the grand scale.
That's an F.
Oh yeah, this is a hard F, yeah. Because it feels like an insult, especially considering Star Trek Online existed. CBS owned all of the assets. All they do is phone them up in season 1 and say, hey, can we have any ship asset and put it in dry dock?
In a Galaxy class.
Well, yeah. But like any ship asset, the entire game would be better. From any era that's not that. Like, even an ambassador would be okay. Bit weird, but okay. Anything. Crazy.
SFX F-31 Sabertooth Raptor. $5. World Razer for me is a D. Galaxy X is more elegant. Enterprise F got smurfed. F S tier. Oh, F S tier. Eclipse class should be Enterprise G.
I like the Eclipse class.
Excel 2A. So you want to move up the.
Well, yeah, he's put a lot of potential moves, but obviously only covers 1. So. Oh, and 1 away from our goal. That's cool.
So we can move 1 with this. Do you want to move the Enterprise?
Yeah, I mean,
World Razer
tends to be first option, yeah.
World Razer to D. Okay. You wish it, we make it so. Let's see what I did there. All right. Schmo Buddy, $5. The Duderstadt class starship. Weird names, but rad ship. Weird name, but rad ship. Yes, I absolutely love this. The Intrepid. This is a really funky design. Again, Bill Cross design, based on some of his other work, like the Wasp. And I really like it. I like the aggressive look of it. I like the underslung pod. It's got a great moment in the show, so much to the point that it growls essentially, and there's like flames coming out of it and smoke. Yeah, I wish we would have seen more of it. Honestly, this is an awesome design, and it's kind of makes my heart sing a little bit. My FASA loving heart, because it seems like a FASA type design. So,
I mean, it was designed around that time. I mean, it was one of those legacy things.
yeah,
A guy designs it, a guy builds it smarter, and then they turn it into a Picard ship.
yeah,
Sweet. I mean, it's a legacy of fandom up and down the way. Yeah, this, I think I'll go straight to say it's an S in the context of Picard. I mean, and I'll say my love letter to it because it is such a characterful sequence. Rose in it. It's a great episode. It's in. I think it's in late. Yeah, in late episode it warps in. So it's in 2 scenes. But the whole scene is great. I obviously recreated it, but replacing it with Pegasus, which was fun because Kane. If I was one torpedo, I mean, it's not a very effective ship, of course, but yeah, it has some of the most character in the entire show, and it should have been used more. This would have been totally fine as a Titan as well. This would have been probably better as a Titan because it fits the era well.
definitely
Sad to say.
would not have made a good Enterprise though.
No, but it would have made a great Titan, as in something new.
Yes,
And I'm excited to use it in the future. It's cool.
it is a cool design. Yeah.
Armed to the teeth with torpedoes. Crazy.
So 2 Bill Cross designs in S.
Well, kind of. I mean, some, yeah. Both been heavily modified by Doug and such, but yeah. Bill inspired.
Yeah. Cool. All right, Schmobuddy, $5. NX01 refit. Fleeting glimpses of what could have been. Cool to see it. Wow, I'd say a fleeting glimpse. Wow, that's quite the picture you picked.
That's the picture.
There's another picture, the better picture of it later. Where you kind of see more of that it's a refit. But that's okay. Yep, Fleet Museum. The SS Enterprise, not the USS, the SS Enterprise.
Although I guess you can't read that, so
No.
if you argue what's on screen is canon, there's no technicality, but it's only because of they decided that in this separate media.
Yeah, I wish we would have seen it in Enterprise. Wish we had another season or something with this, or had it in the last episode even. Would have worked for me, but at least we got to see it on screen. So again, thank you to Terry Metalis for making all this stuff happen. So good job.
And especially Dave Blass for pushing so hard for said things.
Yes.
Because it's just so funny. You look at what we just talked about for season 1, and they're actively avoiding including ships. And then there's one thing alone. It's like, bam, all the canon legacy ships. It's like, oh damn, as it would be.
Yeah.
Right? It's pretty straightforward. So it's definitely special. Now, obviously, if you're rewriting the season, hindsight, you could easily have had Frontier Day be about bringing in the XO1, the first Enterprise, out and do like a parade. Because there's the model. I see it. It looks nice, right? Even the Stowe one is fine. So it would have been. You could have had this been like the first Enterprise comes out of mothball, everyone sees it, and then the F comes after it, so you get to see both,
Yes.
and then we're like, wow.
Yeah, that would have been great for Frontier Day. Yeah.
Exactly. It would have made sense, and it would have been a very small extra.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine. I would imagine for that one particular day, pageantry is acceptable for Starfleet because it's such a, we've saved trillions of lives because what we did. Yeah. And it is also in season 2, so we do actually get to rate it twice because it is also in season 2 as a miniature in past Picard's.
Oh yes.
So there is a little bit more to this than a lot of the other ships. The fact that young Picard loves it, and he's obviously pro-Enterprise B-ish era, so at that point, there's only 3, 4, 5, a few Enterprises. What are you vibing?
At least an A, just for seeing it on screen finally.
At least an A. It's in the background.
I know, but it's one of the ones that people have been talking about the most
It
since
is.
it happened. So
I want to go B and challenge somebody putting $2 to make it an A.
Jesus Christ.
Because then we can say we have journalistic integrity of putting ships in the background as a B, but the fandom has integrity to move it to an A for Doug.
Okay.
So somebody move the NX to an A for its background appearance, which is very high still considering it's literally background ship. Although it is one of the most ones.
Aussie $5. How about the Rio Starship? It was the Pegasus or the Battlestar. How about the Rio Starship? What?
Which means row, or he means row.
Oh.
So it means the Intrepid. It's up there as S.
Yeah.
Yep. Give it the S.
Mark Lawrence, $5.
Mark Lawrence.
If it's already been added, oh well. But 3 cheers for this Sakura prize.
Zero prize, yes. Bam. And there is 2 different paint schemes. They are slightly different colours. So it is a unique one.
Syracuse prize. That's Syracuse. Yeah. Anyway, fine. I just having problems. Anyway, yes, this is an S. For multiple reasons. This is one of the best Trek moments I think in history of Star Trek. And I love the idea that it was salvaged from Meridian 3, the saucer, married to a ship or the secondary hull of a ship that was kind of destroyed in the Dominion War. It's beautiful. So. Yeah, it's absolutely an S. And just see just have the bridge rebuilt. Are you going to argue with me? You cleared your throat like.
I have throat problems, Stuart.
Oh, fine then. I thought I was going to have to fight you.
No, I mean this is I appreciate the way he frames it. It's not just the Enterprise D because of course, it isn't. It's a hybrid, right? I mean the saucer, while is important. The secondary hull is very important as well, and that was not the ship that served for 7 years with us. It is an entirely different galaxy, with an entirely different history, with all of the modifications Geordie made are gone, all the custom stuff, all that stuff is different, so it is actually a unique beast. Of course, the personal effects in the saucer, the sets we know in the saucer, etc. So for us it's important, but it is still a different ship, so a different amalgam. I mean, obviously it's an S, right? It's given the lovest of letter. Notwithstanding the weird 3D model choices, the shot of Jupiter warp in, which I have recreated for a film, and it was a horrendously difficult one to create, but it was so fun. Great shot. The version 1 of it, a warp at the start of episode 10 with Chekhov, before they made the other version for the unused one's better because it's faithful warp basically. Much better. Yeah, I mean this has obviously been a hero. And it's the best bridge.
Highlight of one of the highlights of the season.
Of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, good call, Mark. Jordan Reed, £5. I get the feeling that Picard would have done the speech on the F if he didn't get involved with everything that happened in season 3. Possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, possibly.
And Schmobuddy, $5. Sutherland class, awesome update to the Nebula. That's this one. Yeah.
Nope, that's the Ross.
How is it?
Because that's not a nebula. That's a galaxy.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, my brain.
Hold on. I'll skip straight to Gagarin. Hold on. And these are all background assets. This one in particular is in Season 2 as part of the defending against the Borg fleet thing. And then it's in the background of the other one. But it is there. And this is the Star Trek model. It's converted. And it's in there as well. And it's great that Thomas did it as well. Sutherland, yeah.
I don't remember seeing it specifically, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Nebula class. It's okay. It's better than the Nebula class because it's got some ambassador love there, and I love the ambassador class. So I don't know. don't know where to rank it though, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I like it better than a Nebula.
What do you mean got some ambassador love?
It's got the round saucer like an ambassador. It's got the bridge sync.
Oh,
bridge
I see.
sailing.
What you mean, I see.
It's got some things about the ambassador that I like.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, and I like the nacelles and the pod as well. The pod's nice. Looks good.
I mean, it does look and feel a bit gamey because it's designed built for a game, right? There's a certain vibe that you wouldn't necessarily do. Like Stargazer doesn't feel like this. Excelsior II, there's a cleanness that it's missing where you want to see it as a game ship. But yeah, it's certainly background. But it's actually a good design because it's designed by Thomas. He did a good job, and everything's original and.
But as a background ship,
Hmm.
where should we rank it tier-wise? That's the question.
Let's look at what's on the board then.
Let's do this.
I mean, you didn't remember it existed, which is a problem.
Yeah, I know it is. I remember it existed. I just didn't remember seeing the show.
But because if we're sliding scales to things in the show, then this should be an F, like the alien ship. You don't remember it, therefore it wasn't there enough. Therefore you can't place it. Therefore, in the grand scheme, like even the Akira and the Nova that attack as a Confederation, they have more of an impact, right? So I think by the logic of the game, it's got to be an F.
All right. You heard it here first, guys. Write all your angry letters and emails to Samuel Calkins at Trekyards.
To Thomas Maroney at StarTrekOnline.com. And it's funny because they could have done more close-ups of these ships. You know, there's a giant wall of ships firing torpedoes. If you just done a few close-ups of a few ships, you could have.
Awesome.
Yeah, you could have actually made all the fan, essentially the fan design, right? That would be like, whoa.
Small body, $5. The Ross class, fantastic update to the Galaxy class. Should have been the Enterprise G, in my opinion. No. Leave the Titan A to her own glory.
That's the one you said a second ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this update. I really do. There's a few details on the bottom of the saucer I'm not a big fan of, but overall I like the shape of the secondary hull. And yeah, again, seeing this was a surprise because these are STO ships, and it's like to see these in the show was fantastic. So made me smile a little bit. Made me smile. I do love the Galaxy class, but something about this one, I think I would prefer to have this. So yeah, I like the round reflector and stuff. It's a nice looking ship. And you get to see it, actually. I remember seeing it.
Yes, me too. Although, and we love Devereaux, of course, but he comments, they originally wanted the bottom of the Enterprise D saucer to be scratched up from the crash landing in Generations. Notice they used the pre-Generations bridge, no side consoles. We didn't. Who didn't notice that? I found that odd comment. Like everyone noticed it was super different.
And we talked about it. Jordy restored it to the bridge that was used the most.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, but it's like,
yeah.
We all noticed. It's a funny thing to say. It's like, notice in Back to the Future 2, the wheels move and can fly. Yeah, we all noticed. Yeah, we did. But yeah, I found an argument about the D-Bridge City because he spent 7 years and he's on one bridge. He spent a few weeks, if not a month, maybe 2 months on the other.
Yeah.
And he's also an engineer who spent some engineering, so he might have only gone on that bridge a dozen times. Right? Maybe 24 times, like as an active serviceman. So why would he wouldn't think of that bridge in any way over the other one? It would be a little bit laughable.
Yeah. Now for this one, let's see. Like I said, it does stand out in the fleet shots.
Not tremendously, but some.
Yeah, but you're like, oh, that's a familiar shape. It's okay. That's not a galaxy.
I mean, it also, it's very cluttered though, and it's very specky. And this render, of course, but it again highlights how good, like we said the other day with Voyager, the Enterprise D is a much better design in every way, as a overall design. This is more detailed, but it says how well the original designs look. That this is just a game fun version, but it's like not balanced, right? It's cool looking, but it's not a balanced ship, but it's cool.
C.
Yes. C. Yeah, it's a definitely not the G, but it would have been fun, as with all these things, they'd seen a close up of it flying somewhere like, oh yeah, it's a not Galaxy class. It's like a foreshadow of the Galaxy class to come.
Yeah. Dan Ben, 2 pounds. Gagarin class better than Disco 1. It's based on. Yeah. Even the Disco one's pretty good. I don't mind that design at all. Again, seeing STO ships and stuff in Picard was awesome. And this has a good look.
And it's funny when googling this. I'm going as we go. There is a distinct shot I remember of this flying by, and it's like, oh, that's a good silhouette. Yeah, this thing's great. I mean, it really fits in the era. Feels designed. Doesn't feel as cluttered to me. Besides a bit over the top, but that's fine. Yeah, this thing's great. I mean, it's definitely B or C. I'll let you pick, because the design work I think is better than the previous ship. It's more consistent, and it really doesn't feel like the Discovery one. It just happens to be the same style, but it doesn't feel like it at all. So it does to me feel like its own unique everything, just sort of inspired by the other. It's not being limited by that design. It's saying, no, we know that exists, obviously, but we're going to do our own thing. It'll be better. It's like, yes, you did. Good job.
Yeah. And I'll put it in B. Because I do like it.
I do actually remember it more from the show. I remember it a bit more as a...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think it was a different profile, therefore it stood out more, I think.
Yes. Jordan Reed, 2 pounds. The NX-01 should have been there. It was, but it got refitted, so...
And I'm fine to say they had more famous things after the refit, because you could argue, well, if you're restoring it back to its most famous thing like Enterprise D, but, you know, museums aren't about restoration, they're about preserving, but it kind of depends what you vibe. I can imagine Geordie override it. I mean, also, Enterprise D wasn't on display, so I guess it's a slightly different metric as well. But, you know, should it look like the original you think of the history books? Should it look like the way it was ended being? Because then you have to start ripping stuff out and destroying stuff and moving stuff. It sort of defeats the purpose a little bit of a museum if you're changing something, even if you're changing it back.
Yeah. 50 likes, which is awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, I should read the poll as well. I don't think I've read the poll yet. Which season of Picard has the best ship? Season 1, 2, or 3? Wow, the results are awesome.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Ozzy throws in $5. HMS Bounty with cloaking device. Yes, indeed. A lot of people ask. I've heard a lot of people ask. Seen a lot of people ask online. Why didn't they just take the cloaking device out of the Defiant? Because it's not the Defiant. It's the Sao Paulo that was made into the Defiant that didn't have a cloaking device. That's why. I just want to put that out there because I'm sure somebody might mention it. Yeah, didn't expect to see the HMS Bounty there. It's an interesting one to have at the museum, but since it saved Earth, I mean, hey, that's fine. Good. I wouldn't mind going on a tour of it if I was going to go there. So, yeah, it's not the only alien ship there either. There's another Klingon ship. There's the Kronos 1. There's a Romulan ship as well. Yeah, I mean, it's great. It's bird of prey, man. It's kind of a staple of Star Trek, and it's like I said, saved Earth. So
yeah, well, this has a lot of tremendous legacy from it as well. Beyond the fact that it looks good, it's well lit. I mean, we did a comparison. The model is severely off. It's doing weird things that don't make any sense, and there are models existed they could have used from DS9. Like someone chose to use a worse model or build a worse model. I don't know, season 3 is a weird one, but this is a very good bird of prey shot. And certainly, if they had money to throw, if they had a movie money, it would have been tremendous to see inside the bird of prey. Them removing it, you just build one room segment, right? That's what you have to do. Have them walk in as if you recall of SG-1 where they're in the fake future and there's the SGC's now tour and everything has like banisters for tour information about exhibits. There you go. So imagine if they built like say 2 little bits of the bird of prey corridor, go into the cloaking room, and there's a little placard saying the bird of prey cloak, and it's really cute and museumy. They go in and like throw the like BSG, the first miniseries where they throw the standing things with the rope, whatever they're called, and they grab the vipers. Like same thing, they throw the ropes aside and they grab the bird of prey. You could have really made that a really fun moment. It was fine, obviously it was, but it would have been fun to see inside of it.
Yeah.
But it feels like a hero, even though they just steal the cloaking device. But it feels like a hero.
Yeah. It's important to the story. Definitely has a good history, a whole movie kind of wrapped around. Oh, 2 movies. It's in Star Trek 3 as well. Ship that took down the Enterprise refit, the original Enterprise.
That very same, yeah, when you think about it.
It's S tier.
Ooh, I was going to say confident A.
I was thinking A2, and then I said all that other stuff.
Yeah, it's only in one. It's only in one shot though, so I feel like it can't be S.
Okay, that's fair.
But I wanted to give it an A because I think it is important to the story, and the fact that this tells us that the thing survived. It was allowed to be kept by the Klingons, and it stayed lookable. The legacy of those movies carried on in a way that's special. So that for me earns it an A because what it tells you about all the years of canon is important to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I say that because Saratoga exists on the museum and that was destroyed. So they also can rebuild things if they need to. Yes.
Interesting. All right, well, let's see what is next. SVX 31 Supertooth Raptor, $5. NX01 refit should be double S tier, so I guess we're bumping up the refit. We can only bump it up 1 though, so we're gonna bump up to A.
And Shay Locomotive used their super chat, which was with the other one for the New Jersey.
It wasn't a super chat; it was just their member perk. But we will bring in the New Jersey.
Yes.
Yes, the New Jersey, because that's where Cherry Metallic screwed up. We talked about this at the time. It's definitely a different kind of Connie. It's got some different details, and again, beautiful moment to see it. It was like, oh my god, seeing TOS Connie there was amazing.
Ian McGee.
And we yeah, it's giving off STO vibes though with the way it's kind of plated, like the hull and stuff, but yeah, again, it's one quick pass of, hey, look at this. So it's not going to get an S tier, I guess, by our criteria. So it's very self-indulgent of Terry, but I would do the same, so I don't blame him. But he knew we'd like it. We knew fans would want to see a TOS Constitution class, so yeah, awesome.
Yeah, it's tricky because this is one of the worst-looking Connies in canon, and it's not even that close because it sort of takes away a lot of the purity of what a Connie is, and it does weird choices like why are there little squares underneath the blinkies which are now compressed. Like that's just wrong. Now it's not the Enterprise, that's fine, but that's not how you
later build Connie.
Yeah, sure, but it looks worse objectively and whatnot. It just looks less good. The panel lines look horrendous. There's now 3 white. Like there are things about it that are not as good as the original Connies, and as we know, the Intimate Darkly Connie existed. They could have converted it. They could have used it to Stowe Connie, right? Like it's odd because it feels deliberately different, or they didn't want to use. Like this is one of the most recreated ships in 3D, let alone in Star Trek fandom, and to not be able to have a perfect replica. It had to be a choice or a it was
the specific ship. It was the specific ship, the New Jersey, that did something special.
Well, that's I know, but I'm saying like they knew a guy that had a model that he built in 2001. It was like so many models that are perfect, or basically, and they deliberately did one that looked like that. But I like the fact that it's a custom variant. I kind of wish it was in stow with the weird paneling, because I'd like to see it in more lighting. So it's the least good looking Connie. It's in one shot, but it also reconfirmed TOS canon, and that's the most important thing you can do in modern Trek.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it an A for those logics. Since symbolically it's special as hell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Canon
like the NX refit, which obviously wasn't A, but it's the same thing, just a close up, right?
Yeah.
3 museum ships at A.
Sergeant Montgomery, $2. Voyager-B. I wish we had seen more of her.
That's a great point. I hadn't even thought of Voyager-B. Yeah. On a screen.
Pathfinder class.
Blink and you'll miss it. Totally forgot about that. I mean, you've got a better render, I think I put in there, but yeah, it's just a stow render they used. Is it there?
Voyager-B.
So I got that one earlier.
No.
Oh no, okay. Let's do. Oh god, trying to fish. I guess do that one because that's probably the same render they did.
Guys, hit the like button if you haven't already. We have 58 likes. Like get up to 65 or 70 if we can. If you're just joining us, hit the like button. Vote on the poll. Super chat in. There's still a lot of ships, like ships from season 1 and stuff as well. Last live, everybody's focusing on season 1. This live, everybody's focusing on season 3.
Yeah, plenty of ships in season 1. So yeah, Enterprise Voyager-B. Your thoughts? I mean, fair to say an Easter egg ship.
Yeah. Again, it's great that we saw it. I just wish that maybe we see more of it in some capacity, but that's kind of what we say about all of these things. I like the idea it's a Pathfinder class from STO. Yep. Didn't expect to see it. Love the Rachel Garrett reference and the Voyager reference. So.
Yeah, and it's, you know, to think you were a fan who submitted a game template to a Star Trek game when you were young, and now a decade and a half later you have like 4 ships that you designed in Star Trek canon. Okay, they might not be used heavily, but this Thomas designed, and he designed. So he got several designs that were built as models that you can buy that claim to maybe not famous, but they're all canon. And to have a Voyager canon design, I mean, you know, and he thinks these things through. So it's better to have this than grabbed off somewhere else. I mean, you got to at least to see for the balls and the legacy and the fun. So
no. It's got to be an F. The amount of screen time it had, and not even being a real ship in the thing, it was just on a screen, which you blink and you miss it. By your very own criteria, I'm going to put this at an F, I think. Because if you're going to put this at C, then we've got to move like.
Okay. You don't remember the alien ship, so that excluded. You do remember seeing this, so already it's in the memory, and it's going to stand out forever as being on display as a Voyager.
Yeah.
You don't remember Sutherland, so that excludes that, and McGee is an insult, so it should be at least D because you do remember it for what it is and where it is.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
go a D then. No, that's what, you know.
Because the first time I watched it, I didn't see it. Second time I watched it to get screen caps and stuff, I was like, oh shit, cool.
Yeah. There you go.
And then we talked about it quite a bit, so that's why I remember it. But I mean, if you're just a casual watcher, you might miss it. So. Okay, just gotta resize her. There we go. Dan Ben, 2 pounds. The Echelon class, pew pew with its weapons. Which is the Echelon class?
It is the not Stargazer.
This one?
Yep, they just took off the lower nacelles. That's it. That's all they did. Does change it quite a bit though, vibe-wise.
It does. It can also turn it upside down and have a completely different class of ship.
Oh my god, a Shinjo reference. Look at the low slung bridge with a window. Yeah, thoughts about Kit Bash being removing nacelles and call it a different class.
I don't know if I specifically remember seeing it in a fleet shot. If I did, I probably thought it was a Stargazer.
No, you didn't, because it's not in a fleet shot.
Well, there you go.
It's the two ships that are protecting Daystrom. So they're the ones that fire and do their thing. So yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. But also, this is the ship that actively didn't just, go after them.
For the short jaunt that it took to get to the museum, yeah.
As if you can't track ships at warp, as if you can't just literally go after them. So, you got to lose points for being dumbass captains.
See.
Man. I'm torn because I do remember it, but it's also the laziest possible kit bash ever. It's just, and calling it Echelon class is dumb because it's not a different class. It's a ship without nacelles. So I kind of want to put it as a D because there is zero creativity in this. While it does feel different, it's a lackluster thing, even though it is more memorable than other things. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah.
Everything you say makes sense.
I disagree with that.
I do too.
And it's funny because he could have swapped these. Like, all you had to do was swap the top nacelles with Excelsior II nacelles. Right? All he had to do to make it a bit more original. Versus a 12-minute CG, just take layers, delete. Yeah. Just an odd choice.
Cool. And Ozzy throws in $5. Kirk's Enterprise A. Well, I'd say it's probably instantly an S tier. It's got a nice little bit of a beauty shot. Like, they kind of linger on it a little bit longer than some of the other ones.
Slightly weird angle, though, in fairness.
Yeah, but
It's not a complaint, just of all the angles you pick. The back aft, slightly weird choice, right?
Might be one of Terry's favorite views of it. Who knows?
Indeed.
But yeah, definitely a legacy here. So, and again, it's good to know it survived and is in a museum. So when he's at the end of Star Trek 6, where he says the ship will soon be, under a new crew. At least they took care of it, or they maybe didn't even get a new crew. Maybe they just straight up retired it. So yeah, it's good to see.
Bill asks, did Starfleet ever make a Dauntless? I know Arcturus designed it to be to full Voyager crew. Yes, Voyager Enterprise J has a Dauntless that flies in Azati Prime. So yes, there is eventually a almost identical version made. Because why not? Yeah, this one's tricky because it looks good. It's one of the best looking replica models, but again, it's also one of the most replicated models. I think there's a few obnoxious things, like why is the back observation room thing glowing white?
Yeah,
like
true.
It's like I'd rather have that dark implied detail. It looks terrible like that, really bad.
They're filming a documentary in there, and they got the lights, they're testing the lights, and all the spotlights are on full. And they're ramping them back. You just don't see that part.
It's on a sunbathe mode.
Yeah, it says tanning salon now. or Sam's in there filming a documentary for his Trek shorts, and
I would do that. Let me do.
Yeah, you would.
And this is a very minor point, and I disagree with Andrew Probert. Like, why the impulse engine's on? It's standby, but if that's the logic, then all the nacelles, all the deflectors, all the facades will be off because they have no purpose. So obviously, all of these ships at the museum are on like light show mode.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure they have like a show. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not on, but you want to see them on. It'd be very sad to not see. Like I've done so many films where until you put the glowies on, the ships kind of feel dead. You need to have all the lights. It's a huge part of the thing. So small, tiny note on that. But this does succeed in a way that other ones don't, because this is a masturbatory moment by Jack Crusher. And so it has the weight that he's giving it. So it has a specialness in the show. Yeah.
Perfect. Don't think I would have used masturbatory, but...
Well, I'll let you decide where it goes.
Well, the answer's obvious. I got to say.
Go for it.
Got 3 Enterprises in S tier. Go figure. Marley McClay, 5 New Zealand dollars. Don't forget the Confederate versions of the Nova and Steamrunner.
So he said Nova first. Let me find the Nova.
Yeah.
Which is great to see those made canon, as in like the Starting Online and the Eagle Moss upgrade versions, which are obviously very nice. For Steamrunner especially.
It's lit like the Enterprise and the Smithsonian. Yes, Marley. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, it's started 4. Oh wait, that's 3.
Ooh, we're almost at 65 likes. Guys, hit the like button. I'd like to get up to 70 if possible.
Oh,
so 6 more people. If you just joined, hit the like button, and please vote on the poll as well. Pick your ships. There are a lot of ships in Picard. A lot are sitting here on the periphery of the tier list here, and I'd like to bring some of them in at some point. This also includes shuttles, just for the record, guys. A ship is a ship, as Kirk would say.
And if I was designing Earth spacedock, I'd give it warp coils. Just saying. Useful skill to have. You know, I say plenty of glowies, so.
So how different are these? Because they just look like the glowies are a little bit different.
Yep, that's it. As we said at the time, it's just the Star Trek Eagle Moss models, which are great.
Yeah.
And the real Nova, which is what they should have done. This is why the Steamrunner looks so good, because it was a really well detailed model. They converted it, they changed some glowies, they made a weird light rig. Boom, there you go, evil. Done. Tick. Perfect. This is the...
Go ahead.
Well, this is the Nova. I'm going to put in for 1.
Okay, well then I'll take the Steamrunner out.
Yes. I mean, it's a great scene. We loved seeing it because it felt like a breath of fresh air. Like, bam, we're seeing canon ships, and it showed how easy it was to do that.
But we expected to see more the next episode and didn't, and we're disappointed.
And it's funny they send 2 non-warships after the fugitive that stole the only Borg queen in the universe.
They were the only ships in the sector.
Quadrant. In the whole galaxy.
In the solar system.
I mean, it was a good scene to see. It was a really nice, and there was I think there were in 3 shots.
Yeah,
if I recall.
I'd say at least a C.
I'd say a C, yeah, because the Novas are never given love. It's such a one and done kind of ship in the legacy of Trek. But yeah, should get more love.
Great stuff. Next up, we've got Sussy Euro 2010 euros, the Derelict Borg Cube from season 1, and the Space Flowers that took it down. We'll do them each separately.
The artifact.
It's a Borg Cube, isn't it? It's got a few little cutouts and trenches in it. A little bit different. This is fine. Chunks missing out of it. Force fields up. Not much else to say, really. It's a big part of season 1, considering they're on it quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And 7 takes it over and takes it to the planet, and it gets taken down pretty easily, which I think we'll talk about in a second. It just feels like a bit of a shame that it was taken down so easily, but at the same time, it's not a complete 100% powered up cube either. So
yeah, I mean, one lady is controlling it. There's not 1,000 drones doing 1,000 jobs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is funny because it is a true hero ship and set. It should have been done way better, especially given season 1 had a huge budget relative to season 3. They could easily have rebuilt the Voyager style alcoves and committed a proper proper Borg interior. It's going to be in what, 7 episodes of the season? 8, right? Why? What?
Mm-hmm.
I understand saving money on the boxes. Where did the money go then? If you save all the money on the set, I don't know where the money went. I don't know.
To Patrick Stewart.
But it's got a good character. Lots of memorable scenes in and around it. The bit where there's mites that come out and repair it's pretty crazy. The bit where they flush Borg drones out, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It creates a transwarp conduit, which looks amazing, and it comes through to an excellent shot, and then it's just, like I said, whatever, crash on a planet, and it's kind of in one piece, but fine, buy that.
Yeah. Well, as 1870 Off-Road says, one of the best ship arrivals in Trek, and then absolutely wasted.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sums it up pretty well.
And I think by the metrics I think it should be an A, because it is a hero, full interiors. They might not be great, but, I mean, you're never going to forget the artifact. I just wish it was done significantly better. And it would have been so amazing to have seen Terry Metalis take from season 1 onwards. Like, if you'd had a 3-year plan, the budget of season 1, and if he ends, because it's so weird to see 3 seasons of Borg. It's crazy, and 3 radically different Borg stories that have no connection whatsoever.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's really strange. Yeah, I know. And none of them are fleshed out. Like, not even Terry's. There's only 2 episodes of story. But I think what Crowers do is it's a proper hero of season 1.
Yeah. Now, what about the flowers?
Flower power.
Are they ships or are they weapons?
Yes.
That's the question. Well, yes.
I mean, they're fucking giant. I mean, look at this.
I know.
Orchids, I think they called them. Orchids.
Yeah, the orchids, yeah. They look like beta fish.
What did they actually do?
I don't know. I would assume they would drain power. I think that would probably be the best use for them, because they kind of drape over the corners of the ship and like spread over it. So I would assume they're sort of siphoning power off, which might make it crash.
Was the impetus they're actually pulling it? Because if you're going kind of literal, it's covered in them, and if they reverse, ships this size, you can overwhelm a damaged cube's impulse engines. I can buy that. Clearly going through shields, because they're attaching, right? Yeah, giant. I mean, it's a fun idea. It's just they put all of the money into an amazing sequence with flowers, and then said, "Oh, we're just going to change it and have the copy paste split after it." It's like, just don't do the first thing. I mean, I know it's always done, but like the money you have for that sequence is amazing. You could have designed 3 new Federation starships, and you could pay for you could have done really cool stuff with that money, and you did this sequence, which is just weird. But you're never going to forget them, are you? The giant space flowers that are random as hell, designed by some androids, kind of. Go see with Zheng He. Same level, as embarrassing as that is.
Yeah, I was just taking a look at the chart to see. Yeah, I hate putting them above the Excelsior II and stuff, but
big sequence, well used, never gonna forget. Yeah. Just look to the poll again. Even though season 1 had loads of new ships, it's holding it at 0%, which never happens, despite having loads of new ships. Wow.
Yeah. Ooh, we're almost at 70 likes as well, guys. 2 more likes. If you haven't hit like yet, please hit like. Let's get up to 70 likes. Keep it coming. As he said, lots of ships from season 1 nobody's mentioned.
Yeah.
Still a lot of ships from season 3 nobody's mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2, I've walked out a lot of season 2 because honestly, most of it's I could walk outside my front door and see the same thing. So,
which was exciting at the time. All they had to do was hire
an episode or 2.
All they do is hire Terry Farrell, get in the same damn costume, little bit of de-aging, not much, very similar, and have them bump into Terry Farrell in the same office, in the same costume, grab her tricorder, use it as your cornerstone to get into the back to the past. You're like, holy shit, it's went to DS9. And you have you
Sanctuary District, in case anybody's wondering.
Yep. I mean, even bloody get Clint Howard to record new dialogue as that guy. Like, they could have made it literally a DS9 crossover, using Terry as the new footage, stock footage of Avery, stock footage of a new audio of Clint. And I'm sure even, like, with enough subtle de-aging, you imagine if Bashir was in it as well. Maybe more in the distance. You know, can you imagine going to Sanctuary District because, like, Avery's too old to return or whatnot. You know, I mean, yeah. If Bashir is like walking across the scene in the same costume as he was back then, and Rafi's like, "Is that Bashir? We can't interact with him, but he's far enough away you can't tell he's 20 years older." He's, you know, he's same. You're like, it's Bashir. It's like, wow, what a cameo! Thank you, Sindig. He's walked to the set. Yeah, no, that was actually that was Julian.
Yeah. They missed each other by a couple months though.
But you change the script. You just don't do that, right?
No.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if they met the original Gabriel Bell? If they met him first?
Yes.
Oh god, yeah, that'd be so meta. If they got the original Gabriel Bell in trouble with the law, who then got him in the Sanctuary District, who got him then killed, who made Cisco play Gabriel Bell. See what I mean? It could have been so clever.
Wow.
I know. And so cheap.
Ooh, 69 likes. I like 69. You like us 69 times. 69 likes. Let's get up to 70 though. One more like. You guys can do it.
Pretty much.
All right.
Next we have a good one.
We do 1870 off-road puts in $2. It says the Shrike from season 3 was cool.
Which is not actually this orange.
You gotta do the sound. We can't have the Shrike on screen without the sound.
Okay, take it off for a second.
Take it away?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I gotta resize it first.
Okay, you gotta read the super chat as well. Okay.
Right.
Sorry, Stuart. What's happening next?
Oh, there's a super chat from 1870 Off-Road, $2. The Shrike from season 2. That was cool.
Sorry, the what, Stuart?
The Shrike.
Oh, the Shrike. Stuart, what do you think about the Shrike? That will end there.
I loved all the speculation at the time. Like, oh, this is tied into conspiracy. It's like the bugs. Oh, look at that thing on the bottom. It's a secondary hull of the Enterprise D.
And you know, none of that they thought of. Like, I think Terry said, like, they were just shocked by the amount of visceral, like, obviously this is this. And they're like, no, we just designed this thing. But like, it must be this.
Must be so fun being... Oh, knowing the process, everything you did to get to where you are, and then watch people speculate on it, you're like, what? It never crossed our minds, not even once.
But also, it, unlike a lot of things in modern Trek, the fact that it was so engaged with people to make the speculation was good. That wasn't always the case. So, credit to them.
Yeah, and we're responsible for a lot of that speculation, let's be honest. It's our fault. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And you guys, because you came to our lives and our reviews and talked about it. No, I think the Shrike is an interesting design. It's definitely aggressive looking. I love that it's named after the bird, the Shrike, which is like a little bastard. It just kills things and sticks them on thorns on trees and then eats their brains. And it definitely works. I wish. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say I wish you saw more of it, but we all we saw was this nebula pretty much, which is got a little boring, a little stale after a while. They let things. That's one thing I hate with the structure of the storytelling. But in the interior was just the Sirena, La Sirena interior for the bridge sequence. I actually have a little control console from the Shrike. Where did I get this? Sam knows.
Will I ever tell?
Pepperidge Farm remembers. Anyway, yeah, it's an interesting ship. It definitely kicked ass.
Yeah, I don't know if you would agree. I feel like of all the ships we've looked at today, this design has aged the best in that, looking at what we've looked at, this feels the most designed, the most villainous, the most classic, like, Nemesis era Berman, while not being too obnoxiously detailed. This, I think, has aged super well as a design compared to other stuff in seasons 1, 2, and 3. Now, having looked at a plethora, what do you think? Like, I like it more now than I did then.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I will agree with that. Yes, there are some well-designed ships, like stuff in season 1 and stuff was fantastic.
I think it just works in a way that I think it I'm glad. I did, because I wasn't as enamored back then because we were considering and thinking. I think this has worked. Yeah, this is better. I have used it in a film, so I'm a little bit biased, but I've done some cool shots with it. But it's yeah, I think
the super weapon thing tacked on the bottom is a bit of you could do without that, but yeah, I think it definitely holds up. We definitely got to spend a lot of time with this goddamn thing hunting us, and yeah, I think it's probably deserving of an S tier, honestly.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is I mean, it doesn't make all the sense in the world. Do I understand the scale? Where are the weapons? But this one doesn't kind of need that. It has enough of its own vibe. And I do think, as we've said many a time, part of the joy of Trek, old Trek, better Trek, is the art of a redress properly. That, I guessed from the trailer, I was trying to be clever, right? I could tell, I guessed. But the fact that it's just the bottom of the Sirena is the bridge, and it feels nothing alike. Well done. That is a testament to, we spent $50 to $100 to light it differently. You know, like, we didn't spend much, and so it's very effective for what it is. Yeah, I think this deserves to be an S. I think this is a well done villain ship that would be fun to see again. If we know nothing about it, it could be any race, any place, any whatever. Yeah, it's good.
J Locomotive Production says we heard the Shrike more than we saw it. Yeah. Well, we'll put the Shrike in S, and I think as it goes in S, we should get the sound effect of it landing in S tier. So here goes. Boom.
Sorry, what ship?
Shrike. I'm going to get a chip installed in my neck that every time I say the word Shrike, it does that sound.
We did that for one of our videos, and it was stupid and great. I can't remember which one it was.
Probably a video about the Shrike.
I don't think it was, because we would have said it too much.
I remember.
There was something.
That, though. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Took longer than it should have.
It's worth it sometimes to do that.
Like one time we had the Guardian Forever and Dad was in it, and I was like, the fuck are you doing with your life?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Sergeant Montgomery throws in $2. The Romulan T'Liss class light warbird.
Our second cheeky reuse from another modern Trek show. Designed for... Oh no, wrong around. No, it was used in this, and then used in Stranger Worlds. It was that way around. Yeah, this was the first time.
Yes, the anti. I just called the anti.
Yep.
Romulan bird of prey.
But then they sort of canonize the wrong era it's from ish.
Isn't there one of these in the museum too? There's a Romulan ship at the Fleet Museum.
I mean, yeah, they want to build a TOS one. They just reuse this one. I mean,
yeah,
fair. I didn't realize that was such a shit picture. I mean, I've got you a better one. I didn't know that was so bad.
Yeah, no, this is. I love seeing this. I just like this is like a not TOS version, but like motion picture era kind of version of the same ship. I like the design. I like the colors. I have the Eagle Moss one. It's one of my favorite Romulan ships. Even the bird on the bottom looks really nice. Yeah, it's just a classic design, and it just I think the changes they made to the nacelles and stuff really worked and played a pretty important part in that episode as well. Got to see it in motion, firing, and getting its ass kicked. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm super happy to see this. I like the more detailed look of it than compared to the TOS one. So, and the changes they made to the nacelles were nice.
Yeah, it's a gentle calamity if they're telling us this is meant to be the one from TOS, because it isn't. But it's a really great version 2 or 3, probably version 3. Yeah, it's glorious TMP refit. It's great designed. It's one of John's. I mean, John's done this already for Enterprise, right? It's probably one of John's best. Take an old, make it new. But he's clearly allowed to take the old shape verbatim and just up detail it, which is how you should do things. If you're going to do it, this is how you do it. You just update it. I mean, yes, you could argue it's just with generic plates, but then the cells are different. In Picard, it is used not much. It's in one episode.
Yeah.
It does shoot. I guess it must. It kills Seven's craft.
Yes. And then it gets its one nacelle sliced off.
Vice Sirena, yeah. But hella memorable.
So Hungry Ewoks has just found your channel 2 days ago. I'm gonna sub. Where did the Nova class end up? It's my favorite.
Welcome.
Yeah, and we've been here for 10 years, so you got a lot to catch up on. There's a lot of really good videos.
And reviews of every single new Trek show as they were coming out at the time. So if you're interested in seeing our live perspectives, that's a fun thing to go do. Or breakdowns or whatever. And interviews. A lot of interviews, a lot of people.
And welcome. I'm glad to have new people. So
and Nova got to see, because it's in one scene.
Yeah. Nova got to see because it's in one scene. It's an alternate reality one. That's why it's in C. It's a nice design. We love the Nova, but
love the Nova, yeah. Yeah, watch some cool. And also, if you're a fan of Star Wars, I guess you are, check out the Power 5 fan films, because we're doing several Star Wars pieces, and one will be out this year at least. So check that out.
Indeed.
Yeah, this one's confusing to me because I have many thoughts. I'm interested to hear where you're vibing.
I want to put it at B.
Okay.
Because it brought back the classic design, but yet updated, and I like that. I like the idea of it, being a refit era, like motion picture Romulan ship, and plays a pretty important role in that one episode. So
it's funny because I'm sort of torn. I almost think it should be A, because we will remember this ship, and it was a really nice thing for them to do. Could be absolutely anything, right? And they made this choice. Not justifiable, like, there's nothing a reason for it, but it's only in one sequence. But it's memorable, we remember it. Look at what's in B. One, we sort of remember the background, and a technicality because it's a Star Trek Online version. So I think almost it should be an A, because it's closer to the F. I mean, certainly, it's on in a different way, but same but different to the museum stuff. I'm place it at B, but I know you love this ship. I think it could be justifiable as a low A, but I think it should kind of tick into A.
Did you notice it was on the shelf in the ready room when you were staying here?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
with
good.
The bird showing, because the bird design on the bottom is really nice and elegant. So yeah.
Indeed. Oh yes, Bill. You can't wait for our Section 1 review. Yes. We're going to be both doing a Ed review and a 3-hour, I guess I'm announcing it, a 3-hour drunk review, our first movie review, where that'll be interesting because if films tend to get more dynamic as they go, so by the time you get to the final act, if you've made a slosh, it'll be a hell of a review. Worth it.
Yes.
Right, so 16 more minutes, guys. Are there any more quick fire ones? We're missing, gosh, Missing La Sirena, missing Stargazer, missing the shuttle, missing
the tugs in season 1.
Missing tugs in season 1. Missing the Discovery shuttle taxi, the Discovery shuttle traffic,
the placeholder shuttle,
which in fairness fucked off. I've never seen it again.
Thank God. Yeah. I'd like to think we're partly responsible for that.
Yeah.
For how much we complained about it.
Yeah. Well, justifiably so. That's one of the few things. I mean, you're right. Looking at the graph, the Intrepid class, the second, or the fighter, the synth fighter, not a synth fighter, but the synth fighter. I mean, there's bloody Ilios. You mother effers, like the third most hero ship in new design in season 3 of Picard. Ilios, baby.
Let's not forget about, even though we probably should, the Voyager in the museum. Yep. And Stephen Woodman, the Norfolk Thunderbolt, said, I said La Sirena in my super chat.
You missed one, Stuart.
I did miss one. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so there's in 2 pounds. It says, La Sirena is my favorite. Titan is also awesome. Sorry, we missed your super chat.
We did.
It happens sometimes, but you guys are supposed to call me out on it.
Part of the chat.
La Sirena. Obviously not Starfleet. Obviously some kind of civilian vessel, and that's fine. Interesting design. Paint scheme. Interesting enough, I guess. We compared it at the time to like a Batman vehicle. It seems like it could be a Batwing or a Bat Sub or some such thing. There's no real Star Trekkiness about it at all. You got the nacelle things on the side. You got really weird shapes. It seems like a really beefed up, souped up runabout, honestly. It's definitely a cargo ship. The interior is not fantastic. I do like the holographic displays, but, you know, it's okay. I'm glad it kind of got phased out. Not that I hate it, just wasn't the biggest fan of it. So
it's a really tricky one because it is definitionally the hero ship of Picard, but who the hell cares? That's
some people do. Steven likes it,
but that's weird because it should be a zeitgeist, and it's not because it's bad. It's because it's like, okay. It's both too basic a design and too bold a paint scheme. Like, just take a runabout, the design of a runabout, and make it bigger. Or even give a freaking runabout. Imagine if the hero ship was a runabout. I mean, obviously change the story a bit, but or logical things like make the 2 pods actual glowing nacelles with basards. That one change would be great. Add little deflector, like Voyager deflector styles to either side where the deflector glows are, you know. And you know, the back of the model is just all piping greeblies. Why? It's designed entirely in season 1 style over any substance, and that's a problem.
Well, Area 51 says nothing particularly Star Trek about the Merchant Man from Star Trek 3. You're right. It's a civilian. It's an alien design. It's used for civilian use. And that's what this is, and that's fine. And yes, Steven says it is one of his favorites in all of Star Trek.
Although it's funny because obviously you are correct, but yet when you watch Star Trek 3, you don't think, nah, it doesn't feel Star Trek. It still fits. In a way that I look at this, I don't think it fits. Now, partially it's because it looks like a Mass Effect. It looks like people are joking about the guitar. It looks so specifically not Star Trek. Whereas Merchantman... I mean, you know, the Packard ship doesn't look Star Trek, but it does fit somehow. This doesn't have that energy, and it would have been very easy to convert for sure. That's not bad design in any way. It just doesn't really work. I don't know. And some of their pre-concepts were better, I think. It's just weird.
Yeah. Stephen goes on to say, I've been watching Trek since 1966, but I'm still open to new things. As are we. It's just one that didn't quite strike our fancy necessarily.
And that's a weird comment, of course, because if you saying we're not open to new things, does that mean we have to like everything new by default? Because we've been so positive on other things. Yeah. Are we not allowed to dislike something as being just because it's new? Should everything new be good? Or are you one of the people that says everything new is therefore better because it's new? Which I think is a...
I don't think so.
No, indeed. But the way you could frame that is like, you can disagree, on different things.
Yeah.
I think part of it, though, is also the interior is incredibly generic. So it has no character on the inside, and the outside is too Mass Effect. So it's a dichotomy of things. It has very little personality.
Where do we rank it?
I mean, no higher than a B, because I think
I was thinking B personally, but
yeah. I mean, it's a ship we couldn't wait to not use anymore, unfortunately.
It is in season 3, barely.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Raffi has it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Bill says Renegades. Yeah, the Icarus from Renegades is glorious. If that had been their ship, my god, that's a super interesting weird design. I mean, I think B's fair, but I think you can still argue C, because it doesn't feel like it should, and that's got to be a mark against it.
Now, Steven, one of the rules here for this is you can bump it up in the tier list if you want. If you want to put another $5 super chat, it'll bump it up to A. If you want to get it all the way up to S, the $10 super chat will do that. Like $5 a tier.
Yeah, and super chats fund the channel. Let us do what we do on a weekly basis. This is all going towards us able to do this thing. Living and bringing you content that's free, as in all weekly videos, etc.
And Aussie, $5, Discovery Shuttlecraft.
Bastard.
Which one? The one that is at Starfleet headquarters that flies away?
I mean, the famous one, I think it's fair to say.
The taxi. The bus.
Oh, yeah, the bus. I forgot about the bus. At least that's consistent, I guess.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
It was a dark time, Stuart. Season 1, every time you think about Season 1, you're like, oh, yeah. And I get it, they're saving money. But Season 1 had a bigger budget than Season 3.
Yeah.
Why then are these things that are so important, like Star Trek design ships, so let down? So let down. And Stuart, that ship, look how far away in the distance this is how blurry it is. Easily could have quickly kit bashed, you could have built a Type 6 from TNG. Yeah. A good modeler can build that in a weekend, and it can be low poly because it's distance. You can I could text that in one day. I have textured ship stuff in one day. It might sound all braggy, but I've done this before, right? Like, this is not,
It's like 100-year-old plus shuttlecraft.
Well, no,
which is just everywhere in Picard Season 1.
And
then do the math.
Yeah, and in Discovery Season 3, you recall, it's actually in the future. It was a real piss-take one.
Really? I don't remember that.
Yeah, it flies over the colony where they try and buy the lithium book. Yeah,
you're right. Yeah.
I mean, it's very much background. It is like, but it's very distinct. It's a very distinct looking shuttle. So.
Yes. Yeah, but you used multiple times in Season 1 of Picard for some reason because they had the asset, I guess, and it's fine.
Well, it's not, but we move on.
Ooh.
Okay.
Bright Star Line throws in $2. Enterprise D from Season 1, the Chromie version.
Chromium, yeah.
Well, we'll get to that in a second, Bright Star Line, but this shuttle, you know what I want to say, but it should maybe get a D instead.
Well, why should it be an F, is the question.
Because it doesn't belong in Picard. Discovery, fine. There's no reason it should be in Picard.
Even Lost Era, with a few tweaks. It's a bit too sleek for Lost Era, but it's like, yeah.
They even don't have them in goddamn Strange New Worlds anymore. Like, they just gave up on it. It's not like it's a bad design. It's an interesting shuttle design. It's just...
Well, they listened to us. That was great. So this design of shuttle is... Oh, I remember that one. Now, not this shuttle. This designer shuttle is at least 160 years old. At least.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second. Using anything for 160 years. And not look any different. That shit is gleaming.
Taxis and school buses.
160 years old.
I wouldn't trust putting my kids on a 160-year-old shuttlecraft.
Just build a freaking new shuttlecraft as a bloody... Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Excelsiors are what, 90 years? I mean, they're eking up there, but there's a lot more that goes into a spaceship than a shuttlecraft.
It's an F.
It's an F. It was insulting at the time, and it feels just... Considering how far away we are removed from how silly it was, it feels more silly now, you know?
Yeah, I feel dirty talking about it.
Yeah. It's like, if I can rip assets from video games, why couldn't they go into one of the old video games, just rip a Bridge Commander shuttle, a Type 6, put it in the background? You know what I mean? I could do that in a day. It's really easy.
Yeah, like...
You own the assets. Like, CBS owns everything by default.
TNG era shuttles still being used at that point? Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, Bright Star Line, $2. Enterprise D Season 1. This is the chromy, shiny version. It's a dream sequence. Let's give it that. It was cool to see still.
Oh, you loved seeing it. You were way more enamored than I was. You were a real happy boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to find
And
that.
then you started poking the holes. I still like it. It still looks good. It's shiny. But
yeah, I'm going to get a screen cap because the internet has a HD version.
Yeah.
I'd love to know where that model came from as well, because it's a lot to build for two shots. Considering the other stuff they do, I guess it's in 3. It's in the over the head, you know, it's in the foyer.
The hologram.
Yeah, but still, it's a lot of work. I mean, these are not easy ships to build. I mean, that sort of curved one, like a shuttle's easy. This is not as easy. But why wouldn't they bother getting it correct? I don't get it. But I guess that's fans making content, right? We really work to get our designs.
Yeah.
It's like for our 4K Voyager, Jesus, I worked hard on to my artist to. Which actually soon in if you watch the speaking of Voyager, happy anniversary Voyager, 30 years.
Yes.
Congratulations to the Voyager. And if you want to check out the new 4K Intrepid model from Trek Shorts, you can watch the Starship Intrepid episode Echoes, releasing probably in the next 2 months, where it features heavily, and we get real close to the hull, because we can. That's how it's built. So what do you think now looking at this format?
I still like it. But I'm noticing the squatness. The secondary hull doesn't look right. There's a few things. But I really did enjoy seeing this on screen the first time. So it's the lighting, it's the sun, it's the thing that's near. Plus, it's a dream sequence, so you can't use its flaws against it. It's just misremembered, and it's fine. It's fine.
It's a oh god, what's it called? What's Picard infected with? I can't remember.
Aromatic syndrome.
Yes, it's aromatic syndrome fueled delusion.
Yes.
Yes. But now again, looking back, this looks like a video game asset from a team that doesn't really have good reference. Because it just feels off, right?
Yeah.
Beyond just the fact that it's chrome, it just doesn't feel right. Like, so many small things about it just are off. And yeah.
So where do you want to place it? Because we're going to call Shea Locomotives the last one. And then I have a special last one for the actual last one.
Oh, shit. D or C, because it's so the worst. I mean, is it not the worst shot the Enterprise D you've ever seen? Like visually. I know you like
I've seen some of your fan films. So.
Good job. But just from a production, it's the worst Enterprise D shot they've ever done, technically and visually and artistically. Unless you like chrome, fine. But just to look like as it was intended is the worst shot ever, and it was made on the highest budget. You could sort of argue.
I'm not going to argue. I'm going to give it the D for the Enterprise D.
It's fitting, though, isn't it?
Yeah. When you say it like that, like the worst one production-wise, sure. Let's go with that, yeah.
Yeah. It is tricky. It's a tricky one.
And Shea Locomotive Productions, $2. Starfleet Museum, Earth Space Dock. Yes.
S.
Yes, it's absolutely necessary. Not only because of all the ships that it has, but also just because it's our space dock.
Yep. The 100 we just bitched about the shuttle, 160 years. This thing's much older. Well, no, this thing is not as old, but it's had a lot more wear and tear. What benefits? This is a fan-made model with a guy that really cared, and they bought it off him. That's why it's a really freaking good model, because that looks gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's not the best. I mean, it looks better in Star Trek 3, but every shot costs way more than this shot, right? Like they're so much more produced. It's fine. But yeah, I mean, genius. It's the cheapest, kit bashiest. We'll just put some rings on it. Guess what? It works really well. And it's cheap as hell once you buy the model. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy, yes. Easy.
All right. We got 5 minutes left. Now for the last one of the day, guys. So thank you to everybody that super chatted.
Although, boy, the goal is so goddamn close.
Did we set a new goal?
No. I mean the actual internal goal we have. It's like almost sent away.
Oh, yeah.
One more super chat of any kind will get us there. Basically, that's crazy. So what?
One more super chat. Not asking for a ship though would be awesome.
Oh, it's so close to our goal.
So, because it's the Voyager anniversary, let's bring in Voyager from. Which I, considering it's the anniversary, I kind of feel bad doing that because this is not going to rank very highly. But that's okay. There we go. It was great to see it. You got the nostalgic music. You got Seven talking about it. That was her home. That's great. What is this? You could speak more about it than I can, but even I can tell that it's off. The color, some of the shapes feel too smoothed out. Looks like there's details missing. It's not fantastic. It deserved much better, and Matt Boardman actually did a much better updated version of what it should have looked like. So
it's a confusing one because, as we both know, they literally had the original model converted to work in the software on their computers, accessible, that they could have used, that looked perfect because it was the model, and so they chose, someone in the production overrode the choice to use the original model that looked amazing and use this instead, which looks much worse. So I made that choice. And I know for a fact, Terry Matalas has said after the fact, that had he known that, he would not have allowed this to go through. Because he does not like this shot. He didn't realise it was going to look like this.
Doesn't surprise me now that I've talked to Terry.
Yeah. Because it doesn't look good. Like, it looks fine. It doesn't look good, though. I mean, just the fact that it's dark grey.
And people argued, like, when Matt put up his, that, oh, I thought it was fine. I had no problem with it looking different. It's like, okay, whatever.
But it's kind of I mean, we critiqued, obviously, the New Jersey, but it's kind of like, which children do you love the best? I kind of wish now they'd made the Enterprise refit a dark grey, like proper gunmetal grey and reflective, and see how fans think about it. Like, that's what happened here. It's the wrong vibe. It's just wrong. There's no justification beyond it's wrong. But the refit they got right. It's lit better, textured properly. Okay, New Jersey's also wrong, but whatever. But this is just, like, yeah, it's confusing. And we did a brilliant comparison. It compares so many things. Like, they made texture detail physical, which makes it look weird. They missed loads of other details and the colours of... Yeah, it's a very odd one. And it takes a while to make... Like, it's hard to make these models, like this sort of hero model. So I had to build this, and it's just wrong.
Yeah, we did a really good comparison video. So check that out. Hungry Ewok, I know you're new here.
Yes.
Shayla Komodo Production throws in $2 and says, New Earth Space Dock. Okay, that'll be the last one then, even though I said this would be the last one.
That's a good one to end on, in fairness.
And Hungry Ewok was helping us out with a $2 super chat with no comment, so thank you so much. Glad to have you aboard. Enjoy the content. Come back for our lives. We do multiple lives a week. And every Saturday, there's a new video. So
fully edited, fully fancy.
So where are we putting this Voyager on this tier list?
Well, okay, the scene is excellent. The vibes are excellent. And the music is excellent. So the scene itself brings it up a bit.
I'll put it where I think it should go. Just to be fair. because of the emotional what they were trying to accomplish with it.
Boys, this is a chart that's we looked at. It is all over the place, isn't it?
Yep.
Our scoring metric has changed every goddamn ship.
This one needs to be reshuffled.
This one's confusing. Like, I would say B because C feels low because of it's a better moment than anything that, for example, and I'm not saying move it. I see why you went for C, but it beats out the Nova as a scene. It beats out the Serpent thing, but the fact that it's so below the bar it should have been when we knew literally the asset was ready. So that's a piss point. Like, they're pissed on us slightly deliberately, and that got to lower at least 1 point just for pure, like, you know, you did that, guys. Don't be doing that to us. So I think that's fair, but I think it should be a B. But I think they did it to make it a convoluted convoluted C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this last one done because we're at the 2 hour mark, and I gotta get going.
Double S.
Yes. Newer spacedock is great.
Best design in Picard.
Sure. Yeah.
It's both fully classic, fully original. It works on every level. It's wonderfully detailed. The interior is great. It beats Titan for sure. It beats. It's original. It's not like yeah, for me, it's the best design in all of Picard's 3 seasons because it just works. Yeah. So if we were to move everything down to A, this would be the only S for like design and way. And I love it. I loved it from the first time I saw it. I love where you had a model made by Nick, and then Matt did a glorious texture job, and I've loved lighting it and putting it in for some films. I was the first in the world to do that. Really proud of that. Yeah. Really great. Really, really great.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. I will close out this poll real quick.
I
can click. There we go. Which season of Picard has the best ships?
Now let's see if season 1 came back and put a fight. Oh, it did. Okay.
Season 1 has 1%. For season 1. Season 2 has 5%, and the winner, hands down, with 94% of season 3.
We've not seen a poll that distinct in years. And we've tried to give you polls that should be of that caliber. Wow.
It should always have a 0, and you guys always... One person always votes and screws it up.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned, to the channel because we have a video coming out this Saturday. We have lives next week. We'll have the Section 31 thing next weekend. So there's lots coming up.
Probably next week it'll be the lower decks character and ships. Probably. I think that's the next one.
Probably.
And that'll be hard because lower decks are a lot of one-offs that are like, that's like this, but also a lot of alien ships. Yeah, how many alien ships do you even look at?
1,
2, 3, 3. 3. Oh, 4. Oh, 5. Okay, 5 alien. Okay, 5 alien ships. 6. But good, fine. I take it back. I'm surprised how many Federation ships we managed to look at because this was stacked.
Yeah. All right, thank you guys. Thank you to all the new people as well. We appreciate you guys so much. Hungry Ewok, hope to see you again. And until next time, he's Commander Cockings.
He's kind of voting.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.